So why you can never hit your irons as far as you should is because you are missing these two key areas in the golf swing. And once you get these into your golf swing, you won't only be hitting your irons further, but you'll be hitting them a hell of a lot straighter too. So number one here, what you're doing wrong is you're getting overly narrow in your golf swing, and the move you're missing is getting wide. So this is absolutely huge. So if I just hit a golf ball here, so I'm here, tee to green in Ayr in Scotland. If you're ever on the west coast of Scotland, come down here to tune up your game before you play the world-class golf courses around here. So really narrow, which means club getting closer to the body. Look at the woeful distance I am going to produce, and the ball is not going to go very straight. So really get the club close to me and coming through there. It's hard to generate any speed to speak of at all. As we can see there, 114 yards with an 8-iron, not very good. So again, if I try to generate a little bit more speed, let's try. That's about as much as I could do with a narrow swing, and we got about 128 out of it. So again, different techniques will be easier to apply force than others. Like this, absolutely no chance, because when I get the club really close to me, I am ultimately not going to get too much momentum in the club. Not going to get lag, of course, if I'm too close, because the club is going to want to move further away. Because when I get that club moving too close to me, the swing arc gets pulled up off the ground. So if I don't do anything, for example, to get the club back into the ground, which would be like throwing angles, which is a huge speed killer, I would actually end up just topping the golf ball because the swing arc is going to be raised up. So if we're getting really narrow, club getting too close to us, which is usually people who are getting way too much wrist hinge too early and not enough turn. If you do too much wrist hinge, no rotation, you're just going to have the club way too close. You're going to have to throw the club in. So no speed can be generated from that. Body won't turn. You're just going to do nothing powerful. All your speed would actually be at the start of the downswing. So what we want to do, the fix that we're missing, so that key, is we want to get wide. So this is what we see all the best players in the world do. None of them have a close shaft to body relationship in that backswing. None of them do. Maybe they will in the downswing, but not the backswing. So we want to make sure club is getting further away from us. Now, don't get me wrong, we still want to hinge the wrists, but we need to get body turn as that club is pushing out away from us. So make sure. Really good feel I like players to have here is almost like, imagine there is someone standing really down your foot line, but quite a little bit behind, of course, away from that target. So where if you were there hitting balls and there's someone standing right there, you're trying to pass the club to them. So again, let's say the wall here. Let's say I'm trying to pass the club to the wall. I've really got to stretch myself out. Now, if we're gripping the club nice and loose, so we're about 4 out of 10 in grip pressure, 10 being as tight as we can, 1 being almost dropping it. If we're doing that with 4 out of 10 grip pressure and we're trying to pass the club to the wall here, we're naturally going to start to hinge the wrists as well, because if we've got light grip pressure, we've got then loose forearms, and if we've got loose forearms, our wrists are going to be nice and loose and they're going to hinge on their own. So once we've got there, our job's not over. We now need to turn. So it's width and turn. So it's feeling like there, the back belt loops of your trousers are either pointing at the target, same with your upper back, or like someone's grabbing your right trouser pocket and give it a good pull back. Because width will only get maintained if you are nice and turning after that takeaway. So again, it's like someone standing behind me or a wall, trying to pass the club to them and giving myself a good turn to maintain the width. And it's going to be so much easier. I mean, even like here, I could just go at this quite nice and soft. And you're going to see immediately I'm going to blow that 128 carry out of the water straight away. And it's going to look like I'm generally giving it more, but I'm not. It's just the technique is a lot better. So there we go. That felt nice, smooth and soft. You can see, not the furthest shot in the world, but 144 without putting in any effort to it at all. So that's where if I'm getting good width, and getting good turn. So again, another smooth one. We don't have to swing generally hard to be able to get a ton of distance increase from what we're doing. Nice width, nice turn, and I'll show you a drill. So guys, here is the drill I really like for this. So this gives you the turn, and to get that good width in the takeaway, we just pause. So again, like someone is either behind us or we're passing it to a wall. That's quite a bit out of our reach. We get to there, pause. So you can see the stick in my belt loops, which is coming lots on the left, tiny bit on the right, that hasn't moved in the takeaway. But now, after we got nice and wide, now it turns and try to get it halfway to the ball. If you feel like you need to lift up your left heel to do that, you can do that. See all the best players back in the day do that same thing. It's not a no-no in the swing. You can absolutely do it. But again, we're turning to keep the width. If we don't turn, arms then lift up to the top, everything collapses. So here we go. Pause, then turn the hips up and then just swing down. So here we go. Pause, nice width, and then turn through. And again, straight away, it's just so much better. So that's where do this drill. It's going to give you a very good quality backswing. And then we'll get into the next point. So second point here, and now this is the downswing. So what most golfers do, which robs them of distance, is as they're turning down, their upper body turns too early. So this quite commonly will be over the top. You're not going to hit the ball any distance doing that. What we need to do, what the fix and the key you are missing, is keeping this upper body quieter as we start the downswing. Gives time for the hips to clear and also gets the club on path. So again, watch here. Upper body, let's rotate it as much as I can early. Now, I could generate a little bit of speed doing this, but I will not hit the planet at all. So upper body really rotating hard as I start the downswing. Again, for me, I'm a player who will always have the face go left when I do that. So you can see there, that is the furthest left I've ever missed it on this range. So tells you that this is absolutely not the one. I'll tell you what, that is nowhere near. I don't even think that is the ball because it was over here somewhere. God, don't do that. So that's where for a lot of golfers, if they're used to, of course, really swinging over the top essentially, a lot of them will develop an open club face. For me, I'm normally an inside golfer, so my club face is normally a little bit close to my path. So that's why when I swing over the top, it goes hugely left. For most golfers, it will just swipe and be a horrendous slice. But look at the distance there, carry-wise, 138. So again there, if I'm really overactive rotating the upper body, and let's say a lot of golfers can get some distance out of this, but you will be really losing out. So like we said, what we want to do, we want to instead, with the key that we're missing, is keep this upper body quiet as we start down. Because what that's going to do, that's going to allow time for your hips to turn and to clear up. But when that upper body stays quieter, the club is going to start to shallow out and have a little drop on its own. The club path is going to sort itself out. Where conversely, if we have that upper body rotate too early, club path gets out, club path and club shaft gets quite steep on us. So if we keep that upper body quieter, and again, just to demonstrate, I'll do a little soft one. So where we can see, I'll absolutely be able to beat that with just a nice, soft, smooth fin swing. Again, it might look faster because the sequencing and the technique will just generally be better. So keeping this upper body quiet as we start down that downswing. Now the upper body will turn going through the golf ball, it will uncoil. But you're going to see a much better shot. Lovely, it'll be a little draw for sure. And there we go. Again, nice and smooth. Again, my intent felt nice and smooth. It might have not looked it because my sequencing would have been a lot better, which is one of the things. If you've got good sequencing in your downswing, you are generally going to feel like you're swinging nice and under control, but you're going to be developing good club head speed as you're doing so. So really good, simple, nice feel for this to be able to get those good moves in there, to be able to generate the speed, better delivery through better club path and shaft angle. Is just feel like your chest, so middle of your chest there is pointing at, let's say, for my sake here, be at the camera, or for, let's say, a playing partner behind you. And feel like the middle of your chest pointing at that playing partner, standing behind for as long as you can in transition. That's going to stop that chest from over-rotating too early, which is then going to give you that nice natural shallow, nice drop, which is then going to produce a much better distance for you. So like we said, the chest will start to unwind. Again, let's say if you're wearing a golf polo, the buttons on the polo pointing behind you, perfect. It's an external focus, it will work better for you. So let's give that a go. Let's do relatively normal speed on this one. Okay, let's give it a go. So I feel like relatively normal speed, and let's say distance has gone straight up there. Perfect little draw there. Couldn't be any better than that. So really, really good one. Again, club path is a huge bit of low-hanging fruit to be able to hit the ball straighter but further, because of course, if we are not cutting across the golf ball, let's say club path just is less extreme, like we had with my shot before. it was something like 15 left. It was incredibly out to win. That's like you're punching something and you're going right across it. You're glancing it like that. Where what we're doing here, that club path now is 3.5 to the right. So now we're punching it a lot more square on. The force could be the same, but because you are going more square onto it, relatively anyway, you're going to be applying more of that force into the golf ball. So your ball speed is going to be a lot better and a lot more efficient. Your smash factor, again in launch monitor terms, is going to be a lot more efficient. So pointing chest back, that's again a feel. It's a drill almost as well, but you can do this out on the golf course. That's why today we're talking about a feel rather than a drill. Keep that chest pointing back. Again, let's have another good one here. And that's what you're missing for hitting that drive or hitting those irons as far as you can. So even though that is the feel, here's a drill. So absolutely, I'm going to give you guys a drill as well. So this is a really cool one. Been talking about this quite a bit on the channel recently. So this is where what we do, get ourselves to a wall on our trail side, put the hands right onto the wall just like so, and then just rotate your hips. So what that's doing, that is stopping your upper body from, of course, rotating, because if it rotates too early, your hands are going to come away from the wall. So it's just getting that feeling. It's going to give you a big stretch all up your side around your obliques. That's going to be a really good way to get that feeling of ultimately separation, which is what we need in the downswing. But it's much easier to get that separation in real time on the golf ball if you're quieting down the chest rather than thinking of the hips. If you were to think of the hips, it'll be the left hip going back. Lots of stuff on my channel about that. So if you do, ultimately, as much as you can with that, there's no limit. If you really struggle with the upper body going out there, you could spend an hour doing that if you are a really overactive upper body guy and have a way better practice than hitting an hour of golf balls. You really can. That is a very, very, very good drill. So it gives you the perfect stimulus. So apply that to it. You're going to be hitting, just like we said before, your irons not only longer, you'll be hitting a lot straighter. Again, just by improving little areas in your technique. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, of course, click that like button if you want more golf instruction just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.